right, children? You all have your food, right? What you eat at home? Whatever you eat, one of the major portion of your meal is either rice or roti, or you may also have idli or dosa. Thus, rice and wheat form the major portion of our meal. Where do we get this rice and wheat from? Most of our wheat and rice comes from this particular region. From where? The northern plains. From where? The northern plains. What are the northern plains? A vast flat stretch of land with very fertile soil. That's the northern plains. Here you can see. It's a vast and flat stretch of land with a fertile soil, because of which there is lot of agriculture in this area. More than 70% of total wheat produced in India comes from northern plains, and almost 50% of rice produced in India also comes from this part. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss about the second physical division, the northern plains. The northern plains are the important physical division of India. The northern plains lie between the south of northern mountains and the southern plateau, so in between these two. So the northern plains are smooth and flat stretch of land between two uneven lands. The northern plains extend from Punjab in the west, Assam in the east. These plains are also called as Indo-Gangetic Plains. What they are called? Indo-Gangetic Plains. So you see, it is a very fertile land, and huge amount of our food requirements are met by this particular physical division. Why this land is so fertile? So you see, it is very fertile land and huge amount of our food requirements are met by this particular physical division. Why this land is so fertile? The northern plains are formed by the Himalayan rivers and their tributaries. They are Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. These rivers bring minerals, rocks and silt from mountains and deposit on their banks and its surrounding areas called alluvium. That's why the soil of northern plains is very fertile. This type of soil is known as alluvial soil. These rivers, the Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra, divide the northern plains into three basins. Now, what do you mean by a river basin? It is an area of land drained by a river and its branches. So it is an area of land drained by a river and its branches. You can see here blue color. This denotes rivers and its branches. Now what is a tributary? A tributary is a smaller river that flows. You can see here, it's a branch. Its tributary is a smaller river that flows and merges into a bigger river. So that's what the rivers and tributaries. Now let us see what are the three river basins of the northern plain. So let us see what are the three river basins of the northern plains. They are Indus, Ganges, Brahmaputra. What are they? Indus, Ganges and Brahmaputra. Indus basin, otherwise known as Satluj basin, Ganga basin and Brahmaputra basins. These are the three river basins of northern plains. So now let's discuss about Indus basin. Indus basin is in the westernmost side of our country. Indus basin is formed by river Indus and its tributaries Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas and Satluj. In Punjab, these rivers are called five sisters. We have to remember the names of the tributaries. So I will give you a term to remember easily. RSJCB. R for Ravi, S for Satluj, J for Jhelum, C for Chenab and B for Beas. Indus River Basin touches four countries: Pakistan, Afghanistan, China and India. So Indus River Basin touches four countries and the major part of this basin lies in Pakistan. Majority is in Pakistan. The Indus Basin in India lies in the state of Punjab and Haryana. Both these states are drained mainly by river Satluj. The Bhakra Nangal Dam has been built on this river. Why we need a dam, or what is a dam? Dam is a barrier constructed by humans to hold water and raise its level to generate electricity and also to provide water for irrigation and to human consumption. So the Bhakra Nangal Dam is used to produce electricity and also for irrigation purpose. As we discussed earlier, these places, Punjab and Haryana, are very fertile, and in Punjab and Haryana the main crops grown here are wheat, cotton, millets, barley, maize, rice, oilseeds and sugarcane. Now the next basin we are going to discuss is about Ganga Basin. The Ganga Basin covers mainly across the states of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. So these are the three states. It comes in Ganga Basin. River Ganga begins from the Gangotri glacier of western Himalayas. The major tributaries of the river Ganga include Gandak, Ghagra, Gomti, Koshi, Son, Sindh, Betwa, Chambal. So these are the tributaries. To remember these names, we can say 3G was killed by the son of Chambal and Sindh. 3 Gs are Gandak, Ghagra, Gomti. B for Betwa, S for Son, C for Chambal and Sindh. Do you know the river Ganga meets river Yamuna at Allahabad? This place is known as Sangam. Have you heard about Triveni Sangam? Triveni Sangam in Prayagraj, Allahabad has a confluence of three rivers, the Ganges, Yamuna and a third mythical river, Saraswati. These two rivers maintain their visible identity and can be identified by its different colors. The water of Ganges is in milky white, while that Yamuna is in greenish color. This is a place of religious importance and the site for historic Kumbh Mela, which is held every 12 years. When Ganga enters West Bengal, it splits into two. It splits into several branches, and the two main branches I am talking about. The two main branches are Patma and Hooghly. Hooghly flows through West Bengal. River Patma, you look here, River Patma flows through Bangladesh and is joined by River Jamuna. The River Jamuna, this is River Jamuna. River Jamuna is the largest river branch of River Brahmaputra. It's the largest river branch of River Brahmaputra. River Jamuna. When the both rivers, Ganga and Jamuna, reaches at one place, here, it joined together at this stage, and the river also forms the largest delta in the world, known as Sundarban Delta. Now, what is a delta? A river delta is a landform created by deposition of sediment that is carried by a river, and this occurs where a river enters an ocean or a sea. Here you can see the river is entering to sea. The Ganges delta has the shape of a triangle. It's have a shape of a triangle. Most of the delta is composed of alluvial soil made up of very small sediment particles. The soil has large amounts of minerals and nutrients, which is good for agriculture. So now you can see the picture of Sundarban Delta. Sundarbans is the part of world's largest delta formed by the mighty rivers. What are they? Ganga and Brahmaputra, situated in
West Bengal.
So Sundarban Delta is in
West Bengal.
It is the largest single block of tidal mangrove forest in the world. The name Sundarban, it can be literally translated as beautiful jungle. The name may have been derived from the Sundari trees that are found in the Sundarbans. It is also home to one of India's most iconic wildlife species, the Royal
Bengal
tiger. So this place is fertile. The major crops
grown
in this Ganga basin are sugar, millet, rice, jute, wheat, etc. Now the next river basin we are going to discuss is about Brahmaputra basin. The Brahmaputra basin is formed by river Brahmaputra. The river Brahmaputra originates in Tibet and flows parallel to the Himalayan mountains as Sangpo. The river Brahmaputra enters India through Arunachal Pradesh, where it is called Dihang. Then it flows through
Assam
and finally enters
Bangladesh.
It joins river Ganga. It joins here with river Ganga before entering Bay of Bengal, for entering the sea. The Brahmaputra basin covers the states of
Assam
and Tripura. And also this basin receives the highest rainfall in the world and also flood. The northern plains are best suited for agriculture as the soil found in this region is very fertile. The main crops grown here are jute and rice. So that's all about Brahmaputra basin. Children, look here, this is a map of Brahmaputra basin. This Brahmaputra basin is formed by river Brahmaputra. So this river originates in Tibet and flows parallel to the Himalayan mountains as Sangpo. Here you can see this blue color as Sangpo. And Brahmaputra enters India through Arunachal Pradesh and flow through
Assam
and finally enters
Bangladesh.
It finally enters Bangladesh. This Brahmaputra basin in India, the states which cover are Assam and Tripura. So what are the three river basin we have learned? We have learned about Indus river basin, Ganga basin and Brahmaputra basin. So these are the three major river basin which we have discussed in this lesson. As we all know, these plains are very fertile and completely flat area. So people prefer to live in these plains. Many famous towns and cities have come up in these plains. It leads to dense population. Some of the famous cities of the plains are Amritsar, Delhi, Agra, Haridwar, Kolkata, Varanasi, Patna, etc. Now let's see
Pollution
in reverse. As an Indian, I can say we are blessed with all these mighty rivers. But what are we doing? How many of you have visited Taj Mahal in Agra? Do you know which river flows behind of Taj Mahal? River Yamuna. The Yamuna is an integral part of the Taj design, but the river has narrowed and it is
polluted.
now. The tiny insects from the drying Yamuna river into which the city pours its sewage crawled into the Taj Mahal, their excrement further staining the marble walls. Not only one reason, the soot and fumes from factories and tanneries dulling the beauty of this monument as well. Today, the Ganges is the sixth most
Polluted.
river in the world. Do you know what are the main causes of water
Pollution.
The main causes of water
Pollution.
in river are the increase in the population density, various human activities such as bathing, washing clothes, bathing of animals, and dumping of various harmful industrial waste into the river. Look at this picture. Various projects for cleaning these rivers like the Ganga Action Plan has been taken up. I heard a news 3 months ago during our lockdown. Ganga river turned sparkling clean due to the national-wide lockdown against COVID-19. The Ganga is shimmering and is so transparent that one can see its aquatic life such as fish and tortoise deep in the water. That means we can turn back our
Polluted.
rivers into pure ones. So children, let's do a quick recap. In this chapter, we have learnt about the second physical divisions. What is it? The northern plains. Where is the northern plains located? They lie in the south of northern mountains and they extend from Punjab in the west and
Assam.
east. The northern plains have been formed by 3 major rivers and their tributaries. What are they? That is Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. These rivers bring along minerals, rocks and silt from the mountains and
Deposit.
them on their banks and also its surrounding area. So the
Soil.
is very fertile and rich in alluvium. After this, we have discussed about the 3 river basin, the Indus basin, Ganga basin and the Brahmaputra basin. The soil is fertile and place is very flat and vast land. The northern plains are thickly populated because of this. And we learned about the biggest delta in the world, Sundarban Delta, is formed by the river Jamuna, a tributary river of Brahmaputra, joined with river Ganga before flowing into
Bay of Bengal.
here. Most of these rivers are getting polluted because of many factories and industries and also due to overpopulation.
So let's see the life of people living in northern plains. So the first state we are going to discuss is about Punjab. Punjab lies in which basin? Punjab lies in Indus basin, otherwise known as Satluj basin. Punjab shares its capital Chandigarh with Haryana. Look here children, this is Punjab and Chandigarh is here. So Punjab lies in Indus basin which shares the capital Chandigarh with Haryana. Main rivers like Satluj, Ravi and Beas make this land very fertile and to supply water to dry land in order to keep crops grow. River water is transferred through canals. The process of supplying water to dry land to keep crops grow is called as irrigation. Punjab has many industries that produce textiles, horsery. Do you know the meaning of horsery? Horsery means they manufacture legwear like socks, stockings, tights, etc. And there are other industries like cycles, sports goods, so and so. The important places to visit are Golden Temple, Jallianwala Bagh, Lakshmi Mandir and Shesh Mahal. The people of Punjab wear colorful dresses. The men wear kurta with lungi or pajama and turban called pagadi. And women wear salwar, kurta, kameez and dupatta. The special food items of these states are makke ki roti, sarson ka saag and lassi. Punjabis are so fond of dance and music. Bhangra is the one of the popular dance form of men and Gidda is the dance form of women. The next state in Satluj Basin or Indus Basin is about Haryana. Haryana shares its capital Chandigarh with Punjab. This is Haryana. The main occupation of the people of Haryana as well as Punjab are agriculture and dairy farming. This state is known for its breed of cows and buffaloes. You can see the picture of the dairy farm. Major crops grown here are wheat, maize, cotton, oilseeds, etc. To bring water to far away lands for irrigation purpose, they use the Western Yamuna Canal and Bakra Canal system. Here you can see the picture of Bakra Nangal Dam. Faridabad is an important industrial town of this state. Gurugram has the biggest car factory in India, the Maruti Udyog. You can see the picture. There are other industries including textiles, cycles, tractors, tires, sugar, glass, brassware, information technology as well. Children, Haryana is famous for its vast fertile lands. And do you know the National Dairy Research Institute is located where? It's located in Karnal in Haryana. And what are the important tourist places? Kurukshetra, Surajkund, Panipat, Pinjore are the important tourist places. Let's see about their dress. Men of Haryana wear dhoti or pajama with kurta, while women wear ghagra, kurta with odhini. What do you mean by odhini? Odhini means dupatta over their attire. So this is all about Haryana. Now let's see what are the states in Ganga Basin. In Ganga Basin, the first state we are going to discuss is about Uttar Pradesh. Can you name the capital of Uttar Pradesh? Yes, Lucknow. Uttar Pradesh, this state lies on Ganga Basin and capital of Uttar Pradesh is Lucknow. Children, look here. This is Uttar Pradesh. You can see here. Both rivers, Ganga and Yamuna, passes through this state and make the land fertile. Crops like wheat, rice, barley, maize, sugarcane and fruits like guavas, mangoes are grown in this land. Girls, have you heard about chikankari dresses? It's a traditional form of needlework of Lucknow. You can see this picture. And silk sarees of Varanasi, we adore it. This state is also famous for clothing. This place, children, this place is also famous for brassware of Moradabad, marble work of Agra, the world famous landmark of India, the Taj Mahal is also located in this state. The main industrial cities of the state are Meerut, Agra and Kanpur. Industries include sugar, textile, edible oil, chemicals, engineering, leather, ceramics and also metalware. Now let's see the attire by each people like men and women. Men of Uttar Pradesh commonly wear dhoti, kurta and a turban, while women wear gagra choli and dupatta. Can you give me some tourist attracting place here? The main tourist attractions are the Taj Mahal in Agra. Next is Fatehpur Sikri, Akbar's tomb at Sikandra and temples of Madura and Varanasi. So this is all about Uttar Pradesh. Now let's see the next state which also lies on Ganga basin. Bihar. In the eastern part, you can see in the eastern part of Ganga basin lies Bihar. Can you name the capital of Bihar? Capital of Bihar is Patna. The main occupation of the people are farming and cattle rearing. They grow paddy, wheat, maize, sugarcane, jute and fruits like lychees, mangoes are grown here too. The lychees of Muzaffarpur are famous all over India. You can see the picture. Children, have you heard about the Bodh Gaya? It's an important place for the Buddhist. Gautam Buddha attained enlightenment at Bodh Gaya. Next place, Nalanda, the ancient seat of knowledge. Nalanda is an ancient place which showcased the old tradition to the modern world, and it was the center for learning like universities. So this place in Bihar is well known for its Buddhist sites and monument. Now let's see the other tourist place. The other tourist places of Bihar, one is Patna. And Patna is also famous for the birthplace of Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th Guru of the Sikhs. So these are the famous places in Bihar. Now let's see the attire. Men of Bihar wear dhoti or pajama and kurta, while women wear sari and blouse. So this is all about Bihar. Now let's see the next state, West Bengal. The next state is West Bengal. It's the place from where our Kanchana ma'am and Pratik sir come from. The West Bengal. Located on the plains of river Ganga. And what is the capital of West Bengal? Capital of West Bengal is Kolkata, famously known as the city of joy. The main occupation of the people of West Bengal are fishing and farming. People of West Bengal cultivate rice as the main crop, and jute, wheat, potatoes and oil seeds also grown here. West Bengal is also famous for this locomotive factory, Chittaranjan. You can see the picture. What is a locomotive factory? It is a factory which makes electric and diesel railway engines. There are many important industries like jute, textiles, oil refining, automobile, shipbuilding, iron and steel. We can see all these industries in this state. Silk industry of Muzidabad, coal mines at Raniganj are the another important industries. Now let's see some of the important places in West Bengal. Victoria Memorial and Fort William are two monuments situated in the city of Kolkata, built by British Raj. Next place is Shanti Niketan. It's a very small town in West Bengal, famous due to the Nobel Prize winner Rabindranath Tagore. It is a university town created by him, and name of the university founded by Rabindranath Tagore is Vishwa Bharati. You can see here Howrah Bridge. This is one of the tourist attracting places. And next is Dakshineshwar Temple Complex are some of the important places to visit. Do you like Bengali sweets? I love. People of Bengal called Bengalis prefer rice and fish as their staple food. They love to eat sweets as Rasagola, Rasamalai, Sandesh are popular all over India. Now let's discuss about their dresses. Generally, men wear dhoti and kurta and women wear saris. Do you remember in the last class we have discussed about Sundarban Delta. It's in which state? It's in West Bengal. So Sundarban Delta is the largest delta in the world. So these are the mangrove forest in Sundarban Delta and the Bengal tiger. It's in West Bengal. So this is all about West Bengal. Now we are going to discuss about only one union territory which lies on Ganga basin, Delhi. Delhi is a city and a union territory of India containing the capital of India is what? New Delhi. So Delhi is bordered by Haryana from 3 sides and Uttar Pradesh to the east, and the river Yamuna flows through Delhi. Now let's see some important landmarks. Important landmarks like Rashtrapati Bhavan, Parliament House, Rajghat and India Gate are also located in Delhi. There are many tourist attracting places like Jama Masjid, Qutub Minar, Red Fort, Akshardham, etc. are the famous monument in our capital city. So that's all about Delhi. Do you know some parts of Jharkhand is also included in the northern plains. The capital of Jharkhand is Ranchi. And this is a highly forested state, and the main occupation of the people are agriculture and also livestock rearing. They use these animals like cattle for meat and dairy as the important occupation of the people in this state. So children, now we are going to discuss about Brahmaputra basin. The states lies in Brahmaputra basin are Assam and Tripura. Let's see about Assam. Assam lies on the Brahmaputra basin and is one of the largest states in the northeast. Can you give me the name of Assam's capital? It's Dispur. River Brahmaputra enters India from Arunachal Pradesh and flows through Assam. So what happens there? The land is fertile and agriculture is the main occupation practiced by the people. Assam is well known as the land of tea gardens. You can see this picture. 50% of India's tea production is happening in this place. Here, people also grow rice, wheat, jute, sugarcane and potatoes. Many industries like oil refineries, petrochemicals, fertilizer and chemical factories are in Assam. Do you know this state was the first site for oil drilling? And there are some other industries including silk processing factories, sugar mills, jute mills also belongs to this state, Assam. Children, there are many bewitching places in Assam. This state, I told you already, this state is most famous, known for its neatly cut jade green tea gardens. And other than this is also home of the great Indian one-horned rhinoceros at Kaziranga National Park. Now, next place to visit is the Manas National Park, which is the Natural World Heritage Site approved by UNESCO. And the next tourist attracting place is Kamakhya Temple. Is the one of the most popular and famous tourist site in Assam. Now let's see the food. People of Assam eat rice, fish, chapati and vegetables. Let's discuss about the dress. The people of Assamese, they adorn very simple dresses and mostly hand loomed. Women wear motif rich mekhla chador. The men wear surya or dhoti. You can see in this picture. And over it they drape a chador. You look here, a small stole kind of thing known as selang. Children, do you know the famous dance form of Assam? The state dance of Assam is the Bihu dance, an indigenous folk dance form performed by youth group. Today, Assam is battling flood due to the heavy rainfall and river Brahmaputra is rising, which had killed more than 100 people in the state and affected over 70 lakh people. The rapidly rising water level has also affected the Kaziranga National Park. Many animals died due to drowning, according to the state government report. In all over India, everyone giving hands to Assam to survive. Along with the prayers, the state needs as much attention and help as possible to recover from the floods. So let us sincerely hope that numbers of death don't rise. Let us help Assam to survive. So my dear children, let's call it a day. So in this chapter, we have learned about the second physical division of our country. What is it? The Northern Plains. And also the life in Northern Plains. So children, in this part, we discussed about the states in Northern Plains and also the life and culture of the people of these states. So the Northern Plains are located south of the Northern Mountains. So we have discussed about all three river basins. What are they? Indus Basin, Ganga Basin and Brahmaputra Basin. The Northern Plains, the main occupation of these plains which we can take, it's agriculture, and farming is the main occupation of the people of the plains. And what are the states lies in Sutlej Basin, or otherwise known as Indus Basin? Punjab and Haryana. Both states lies on Sutlej Basin. The next basin is Ganga Basin. What are the states and union territory lies on Ganga Basin? Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, some parts of Jharkhand and also the only one union territory, Delhi. Then after the Ganga Basin, we move to Brahmaputra Basin. Assam and Tripura comes under Brahmaputra Basin. So the major crops grown here in this northern plains are rice, wheat, sugarcane, cotton and oil seeds. So that's it children. Read the chapter, ask your doubts, try to do the textbook exercises and explore more about northern plains. And a gentle reminder children, answer your unit test and submit on given date. I am expecting all of my students answer sheet. So children, study well, stay at home safe and sound. Take care. Bye-bye.